essential oils. And tonight we have a very, very spectacular webinar planned for you tonight. And we want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time to be with us. And we believe it's really going to be worth your while. So tonight I would like to honor Pamela Hyan and Christina Campbell, who have done a wonderful job on this webinar, ladies. I just can't tell you how much fun I had looking at the pictures on this webinar. And so this is going to help all of us to take better care of our pets and to get away from the chemicals and to begin using beautiful things out of God's garden to keep our pets healthy. So let's go ahead and get started now. This is what you're going to learn this evening, that animals can suffer from ailments in the same way as humans, how we are going to support our pet's immune system, and other microbes, and alternative mood elevating and behavioral modification choices for our pets. We're going to learn pain relief without drugs and side effects. We're going to learn how to oxygenate and support the organs with high antioxidant supplementation. And finally, but very important, we're going to learn parasite control without using toxic chemicals. Christina, for some reason it didn't change slides.
You don't see the slides, Terry?
Now I do now. It just changed to our animal friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why.
Maybe there's a hesitation in the.
Yes, there is. So just go ahead and change it a couple, seconds before I'm finished. Well, Young Living Therapeutic grade essential oils can be species from the smallest to the largest, including reptiles, birds, fish, and mammals. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The information in this presentation is based on the use of 100% pure, Young Living Therapeutic grade essential oils due to their high quality and tested purity. Did you know that many animal foods and treats contain propylene glycol, which is antifreeze? This chemical is used to keep food soft. Please, let's all. Oh, I would love to just right now go jump on that grass and lay down next to that dog. So this is the alternate therapy with essential oils. And you can just probably change the slides a little bit quicker. I know there is a bit of a delay.
Yeah, because I've had this the horse slide on now ever since you talked about the dog.
Oh my goodness sakes!
So
well,
I
this
think
is
there's a little lag time because you're in control, but you've handed the control over to me. I think.
Yes, Christina. I think I'm going to let you take this because it would be better if you're clicking those slides and we don't have this delay. Why don't you go ahead?
I don't know that I can have control over it right now. I think, Terry, we're just going to have to try to get through this.
Okay. Well, we have 9 powerful therapeutic grade essential oils dropped like raindrops, leaves muscular tension. It deeply energizes the horse. It allows the body to detoxify naturally, balances the body's energy, and supports the immune and nervous system.
And of course, this is the raindrop technique. And this is Gary performing the raindrop technique on a horse for some of you who are not familiar with it.
While we're waiting for the next slide, I'll also mention that this technique is very good if your animal has a virus, because when you drop these particular oils down the spine, they are highly antiviral oils. So again, animals have reflexology points in their paws. So using essential oils with this therapy can increase circulation, improve balance, promote relaxation, decrease pain, and increase energy. Pet aromatherapy. So this is going to be when we use the therapy with aroma with our pets. The same as it does on human beings, it will alleviate anxiety, induce relaxation, boost our pet's immune system, reduce the thunder phobia. An animal's sense of smell is up to 1,000 times more powerful than our sense of smell.
And I'd like to just address the thunderphobia for just a minute, Terry, if I might.
Absolutely.
When I was talking to Dr. Kim Bloomer, she was mentioning that many of our shelter dogs who have been over-inoculated, what happens is every time they go to a shelter, they get their inoculations because they don't have their paperwork following them in most cases. And so what happens is they get it over-inoculated, and it affects the brain. And it causes them to be very, very sensitive to sounds and electrical energies in the air. And so you'll find that these particular dogs are more afraid of these of thunder and lightning and storms than other dogs. And it's almost, she said, almost impossible to detoxify these dogs, but that there are ways, and we'll talk about some of those as we go through some of the products.
Wow, that's really great. Since it is taking longer, and it could be because of the storm, we could just click to the next slide a little quicker. Okay, so diffusing essential oils. This is just a marvelous way to give our pet aromatherapy by diffusing the oils into the air. It turns the oil into micro-sized particles that enter the air more quickly, giving our pet immediate therapeutic results. And then we go to pet acupuncture. Relieving animal anxiety, a drug-free way to calm our pet, calming effects that last from days to weeks. It improves their health with each treatment, reduces pain, improves quality of life. Using therapeutic essential oils will enhance an acupuncture treatment. Sorry, Christina, I can't see the next slide. All right, let's move right on to the next slide.
This slide is essential oils for a healthy, happy pet. And this general guideline for small animals, cats, and small dogs, apply about 3 to 5 drops diluted, about 80 to 90% oil mixture per application. However, for larger animals, like large dogs, you can apply 3 to 5 drops neat. And the word neat means undiluted or straight from the bottle per application. For even larger animals like cattle and horses, you can apply 20 to 30 drops neat per application. Avoid using oils that contain valerian, as it's been cited that this could possibly build up in the animal's system. Diluting essential oils. Always use V6 mixing oil when diluting essential oils to avoid sensitivity. And we know that to be true with us as well, especially if our skin is sensitive. V6 mixing oil works synergistically with the other essential oils. It's all natural, colorless, and odorless. It nourishes the skin. It has long shelf life, and it's non-staining. And it contains coconut, olive, sesame seed oil, almond, sunflower seed, wheat germ, and grapeseed oils. Now your question may be, where do I apply the oils? Well, you can apply them on the paws, where absorption is fast. And I know Dr. Kim was talking to me saying that a lot of times it's even more effective if instead of the pads of the paws, you can literally apply them between the pads so that it absorbs right there on the skin. Because a lot of times, she said, the pads are so calloused and so thick that there isn't really as fast of absorption and as strong of animals apply on the tips of the ears or on the spine or both. And you can also put it underneath the lip or the gums or on the tongue of an animal. You can sprinkle a few drops on the spine, and then you can massage it onto the skin as well. Now, for some dogs, once they taste the taste of oils, they may not like them, and they may be very hesitant to have you apply them the next time. So you want to mix a capsule maybe in with a treat or some meat or whatever you're getting it to so that they can get it down without bursting the capsule in their mouth. Administering essential oils internally. Put into a capsule and mix with a feed. Now, for my one of my little Shelties, what I do is, and we're going to talk about BLM here pretty soon, but he has a little bit of arthritis, and I give him BLM. I put it in his mouth, and then I give him a small treat, and it helps to just bring it right in internally. With large animals, the animal's bottom lip can be pulled out, and the animal will feel the effect quickly because capillaries in the lip will carry the oil into the bloodstream immediately. When treating animals with essential oils internally, make certain the oils are pure and free of chemical solvents and adulterants. Terry, can you see this slide, this one with the bunny on it?
Yes, I can.
Would you like to take this one?
Sure. Animals that may be jittery or resistant to essential oils. So with this, we apply our Peace and Calming, our Idaho Balsam Fir, and or our Valor. And we can put it on ourselves first, so the animal will feel, of course, very peaceful. As we approach the animal, it will react when it smells the aroma. We can kneel down or squat beside the animal and remain still for several minutes. As the animal breathes in the fragrance, it will become calmer and easier to manage.
Now, this is when we're treating an injured or sick animal with essential oils. So, for example, for viral or bacterial infections or arthritis or bone injuries, you can use the exact same oils and protocol that's recommended for humans. This is good news. Don't be afraid. When applying to large open wounds or hard-to-reach areas, put the oils in a spray bottle and spray them directly on location. And remember, you always want to use glass spray bottles. After an oil application to an open wound, cover the wound with animal sense ointment, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, to seal and protect it from breathing into the air. Take special care not to get the essential oils in animals' ears, and make sure the animal is drinking pure water. Did you know, and this actually came from the essential oils desk reference, that chlorinated water will suppress thyroid and immune function in animals even quicker than in humans, and it suppresses the healing process? So make sure that your pets are getting pure water. Quality protein and enzymes is vitally important to promoting healing, so make sure that you're using organic feed, essential to maximize digestion and protein assimilation. Cat and essential oils. Caution should be taken when using oils high in phenols such as oregano, clove, thyme, cinnamon, mountain savory, and tarragon. These oils should be used in high rates of dilution, and the diluted oils should be applied to the paws. Now, as I was going over this slide presentation with Dr. Kim Bloomer, she almost laughed at this slide because, you know, Pam and I have done a lot of research, and a lot of people say a lot of different things. But one of the things that Dr. Kim said was, this is really erring on the side of caution, extreme caution, whereas she has not had any negative effects of any of these high phenol oils and cats. As a matter of fact, she said, I wish I had a camera. She said, I have a girlfriend who has cats, and she had the beautiful Aria diffuser, and the cats would lean into it and literally put their nose in the aromas that were coming out of the diffuser so that they could just suck it up. And they never had any problems. So they're amazing, and they know what they need. A domestic cat purrs in the range of 25 to 50 megahertz, which is the exact range associated with healing properties such as increased bone density. It's amazing how intuitive our animals can be. So Terry, I'll let you go through the actual.
Sure, I'll do a few slides here and then, all right. So frankincense, what a great oil for animals. It's anti-infectious, it supports the immune system, favorite for small pets and birds because it's very mild. We use it for wounds and tumors, antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. We can dilute it with the V6 mixing oil. Dr. Kim Bloomer states frankincense is a staple in our clinic. Next slide.
It's there.
Lavender promotes healing for cuts, scrapes, and skin problems. It's gentle. It's #1 in the first aid treatment. It makes the animal's coat shine. It repels fleas and other insects. It calms and reduces anxiety. It's uplifting. And let's make this a part of our animal emergency kit. We can even use it neat on the tip of the ears, drop on a cut or abrasion, and it's wonderful. Lemongrass. Lemongrass regenerates connective tissue. We can use it on torn ligaments and muscles just like we do in humans. It's antifungal, anti-inflammatory, repels fleas and insects, calms and reduces anxiety, and improves circulation. Is this your dog? No.
No, actually, Terry, I'd like to speak to this one anyway because this is one of my favorite girlfriends, and she's a registered nurse here in Belleville, Illinois, and this was Abby. And Abby actually was having trouble getting up, so they rushed her to the vet, and upon examination, they were told that the tendons and the ligaments that were holding her right kneecap in place were torn, causing her kneecap to slip. So they said that she needed surgery to correct it, and the vet gave her anti-inflammatory meds and told Cherie to give it to Abby for a week so that it would bring down the inflammation and she could be ready for surgery. Well, she started using lemongrass on her knee and her leg 3 times a day. She would massage it in really well, and then she would wrap it in an ace bandage at night. After 3 days, Abby was up and running around, and after a week, we took her back to the vet for the follow-up. And he couldn't believe how well she was walking, and he said, wow, the anti-inflammatory medication that I gave you must have worked pretty well. And she handed him the bottle of pills and told him that she hadn't even used them. He wanted to know what she did and told him that she had used lemongrass essential oil. So he re-x-rayed her knee and could see where the tendons and the ligaments were already starting to heal. The vet couldn't believe the change between the 2 x-rays. There was no surgery, and thanks to lemongrass. And lemongrass actually became Abby's oil. Every time Cherie would open a bottle of oil, Abby would come running and lay down for her to rub on her. So she was just grateful, I'm sure, the dog.
That's just great. You want to take this one?
Okay, this is Panaway. And we know that Panaway for us is good for any of the itises. We have arthritis, rheumatism, tendinitis, inflammation. It's a good oil for healing bones, broken bones, muscles, and joints. The great thing about Panaway is it accelerates healing. It increases circulation. It's an analgesic, and you can use it for acute injury and pain. My daughter has brought me 2 dogs that have been hit by a car, and the first thing that we've done to their hind legs is just saturate it with Panaway, and we're able to give the pet, ease of pain. So use topically to kill pain where there's no open or raw tissue. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory, and it's an important addition to your animal emergency kit. Now, if you feel the need, you can always mix it with V6 mixing oil. But again, I put it on straight, and it doesn't seem to irritate or sting. But depending on the animal, you want to dilute it. And if it does seem to sting, you can always use heliochrysum and balsam fir to reduce bleeding and pain. Now, Peace and Calming is a blend that has been absolutely a boon to dog trainers or animal trainers. And the reason is because sometimes if a trainer comes in and he or she is not that familiar with a particular pet, they want to warm up to the pet, and Peace and Calming will help the pet to feel calm and more confident, along with Valor, which we'll be talking about in a minute. But another good thing for the use of Peace and Calming is for abused or neglected animals. If there's an arrival of a new animal in the family or a new baby into the family, this is a good oil to use on them. It relaxes them. It promotes peace of mind and a quiet spirit. And ways that you can use it, you can diffuse it in the room. You can put drops on their collar or on their blanket or their toy. But it relieves fear, anxiety, and behavioral problems and overexcitement when traveling. So it's just a great calming oil, especially if you've got those hyperactive, animals. This is great. Diffuse it. You can tip it on their ears. You can put it on the bottom of the paws. It's great. Peppermint. Peppermint is good because it's a natural flea repellent, and it kills ticks. It doesn't only just back them out, it actually kills them. It relieves nausea, vomiting, and motion sickness. You can rub it on their belly. You can just have it diffusing in the car if you're driving, and it'll help motion sickness. It cools and invigorates the skin for overheated horses and dogs. You can drop it into their water for internal cooling. Now, I do this all summer long for my dog's water. I put ice cubes in their water, and I put a couple of drops of peppermint because, they get pretty hot with all that fur on. It's supportive to the respiratory system. It's analgesic. It's non-infectious for acute injuries. And you can dilute this when using it on cats or other small animals. This was something that we added to this presentation after talking to Dr. Bloomer. And I was just really, really impressed with the fact that she is encouraging kennels in her area to use oil. So this is a little testimonial, Kennel Cost Gone in a Day. She said, Rebecca Preston out of Florida says, we adopted a 1-pound Chihuahua, Gus, and when he was 8 years old. He had a severe kennel cough 24 hours a day, and he couldn't sleep. So she'd applied peppermint to her hands and petted him from the neck down over the course of 2 days. In 24 hours, the cough was clearly sporadic rather than constant, and by the second day, it was completely gone, and Gus was sleeping through the night. So there's a happy kennel guest looking over his doorway there, through his doorway, and I just really, really recommend if you volunteer at a kennel or a shelter to think about diffusing these oils, because you're going to find them to be very, very anti-infectious, antiviral, and antibacterial, especially our beautiful Thieves blend. We have both the Thieves oil and the Thieves cleaner, which kennels and shelter settings and stables and just general pet areas should not be without. Here are the strongest anti-infectious essential oils on the planet. They're antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. They're analgesic, so they're specific to dental problems. They're antiparasitic, especially for ticks. And you can use on all pets with proper dilution. So use in diffusion. You want to diffuse it in the air, especially for birds. You can use it topically, oral applications, and in a raindrop or Vitaflex technique. And we mentioned the raindrop technique earlier on. So this is Pam Hyan's cat, Whitey. And Whitey recently had a bad infection in his gum around his molars on both sides. So she took 3 drops of Thieves and diluted it in about 6 tablespoons of the V6 mixing oil. She dipped a Q-tip into the mix and swabbed the gum area twice a day for about a week. He's eating again with no discomfort whatsoever, and the infection is completely gone. Whitey says the Thieves worked perfectly. That's Pamela Hyan, and Pam's from Columbia, Missouri, if some of you didn't know. Dee Broughton of New Jersey said, I would recommend thieves oil for any kind of infection, including kennel cough, pneumonia, upper respiratory infection, and canine flu. And I want to mention, I spoke to a woman today. She's from Tucson, Arizona. And she had a friend a few years ago that had I think he had gotten a shelter dog. And when he got the shelter dog had a severe case of the canine flu. And he started using, and they thought that they would lose him. He was that sick. So they started using the oils, and I believe she said the oil of thieves. And within 3 days, he was completely healed from the canine flu. So it's very, very effective. Terry, you're very familiar with purification. Would you like to talk about purification?
Oh, yes. This is just really great for animals. Because this, you know, what I love about this, Christina, it's a very inexpensive blend. Yes. And it's one of the most powerful antibacterial blends in our line. So if you're looking for something economical that is a bacteria buster as well as mold and fungus, this is your oil. It also kills anaerobic bacteria, which requires little or no oxygen, deep tissue and organs. It purifies and cleanses bacteria in the air. And you know, a lot of times, here's the thing, a lot of times people use you know, things that are going to stop the odor in their kennel or even in their home. And those are so full of toxins. And what happens with purification, it doesn't just cover up the smell of the odor, it actually kills the germs that cause the odor. Very, very different. Killing the germs that causes the odor. So it's just really great for all the things that you're seeing on this slide here, including when you get stung by something, or if your animal gets stung by a bee, a wasp, a hornet, a horsefly, a brown recluse spider, you pour the purification right on the wound and it pulls the poison out. And you guys, you probably know how dangerous a brown recluse spider is. And I was bitten about 8 years ago, bitten by a brown recluse spider in our ranch in Arizona. And I just began just pouring that purification on. And within about a week, I was fine. But I mean, people can die from that kind of a bite. So this is really a must-have oil.
Is it going any quicker?
You want me to take Valor?
Sure, go right ahead, Terry. You're doing a great job.
Well, we all know that Valor is a chiropractor in a bottle, and we certainly do love our Valor. This is very important for our pets for improving structural misalignment. It also helps to restore confidence and bravery. When my daughter was a very competitive horse jumper, she would put Valor on her feet, and she would put Valor on the frog of the horse's hoofs before she would go into a jumping competition. Because what happens is this Valor lines the spine up electrically. And when the spine is lined up, everything else in the human body or the body of the pet works better. And this is the oil that was used by the Roman soldiers before they went into battle in ancient times. So what I love more than anything, Christina, I love the smell, the scent of her. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, next slide.
Supplements for healthy, active pets.
Next slide.
Digize. Digize is a blend. It helps to relieve hairballs, constipation, intestinal parasites, and tapeworms. It promotes healthy digestion, soothes to be part of the animal emergency kit. Now let's talk about how to use Digize. First of all, you can rub it directly in the stomach area, or you can mix it with one drop with tuna and its juice and feed to your cat. You know, especially if they're having hairballs. Mix in food for dogs or rub daily on the pads of the feet. You can put it in a capsule, a few drops in a capsule. Again, kind of put it in the back of their mouth and then give them a quick little treat to get it down in there. It has the beautiful oils of fennel, tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. This is one you cannot be without.
Christina, let me just comment very quickly for the horse lovers that are on this call.
Please.
That I had a horse that went into a very severe colic, and because we live so far out in the country, the veterinarian did not want to come out. So while my horse was laying on the ground groaning, I marinated his belly in Digize, about 25 drops. And then I dumped all of his water out so he could not drink out of the water trough, and filled a bucket of water with 25 drops of Digize. When he finally got up, he went over and he snorted because he didn't like the smell, but when he drank the water with the Digize, it completely alleviated all of his symptoms of severe colic.
Oh, that's an incredible story. I know you were telling us that the other night. And you know, colic can be fatal, can it?
Yes, it can. And you know, I was thinking that's about $10 worth of Digize that healed my horse, and he could have died from it.
And a vet call would have been quadruple that, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, this is BLM, bones, ligaments, and muscles. It builds bones, it speeds healing of bones, it strengthens and rebuilds damaged joints and cartilage. Now this is what I've been giving my little 11-year-old Chelsea. It seems like he might be getting arthritis, and I just want to make sure. And you know what? I believe that after I give it to him, like an hour afterwards. I think,
Christina, we just...
Pardon me?
We lost your voice.
And we lost yours.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but you just said I could hear you. I don't know who you can hear, Pam.
We cannot...
She lost both of us, and then we both came back.
Okay, go ahead.
So after I give it to him about an hour later, I believe that he is smiling at me. It's almost like, Mom, you have helped my inflammation and pain. And it contains glucosamine. It also contains chondroitin. I think I'm saying that right. But that helps to combat the arthritis. And it helps to build cartilage. So it's very, very good. Do not use the BLM in the powder form, however. Use the capsules. And the reason is because the powder form contains xylitol. And xylitol is toxic to animals. So be very careful that any supplements that you're giving your animals do not contain xylitol. Xylitol is very healthy for us. It actually builds our bones. It's great for our teeth, but for animals it's toxic. So just be aware that if you're going to give your animals BLM, do it in the capsule form. And if they're not taking the whole capsule, just open the capsule over their food. That'll work just fine. Can you see this slide, Terry?
Yes.
This is RC. This is the RC blend. The blend of RC is very antiseptic. It's particularly for supporting the respiratory system. I would recommend that if you have birds with respiratory problems, and that seems to be a weakness, that you'd want to diffuse this around the birds. It relieves allergies. It combats lung infections. Excuse me, it decongest sinuses. And did you know that RC dissolves bone spurs? This is true for animals and humans. Anytime anyone comes to me and says, I have a bone spur on the bottom of my heel, I say, you need to get yourself a bottle of RC. And it works. You have to be consistent. You have to be aggressive. You know, continue to use it a few times a day, every day, until that bone spur dissolves. And of course, who would want to be without Trauma Life? Trauma Life is a must-have in the animal emergency kit. Anytime something happens, an injury or an accident or pre or post-surgical procedures like spaying or neutering, have Trauma Life on hand. It's excellent, too, for abused, neglected animals because they've had trauma in their life, and they need to heal from that from an emotional level. Animals who experience separation anxiety, and I've used it for my Aussie, who was a 2-time shelter dog and has thunderphobia. I use it. I tip his ears. I put it on the bottom of his feet. When I'm not using Trauma Life, I'm using Rutavala or even Peace and Calming. Any of those are very, very effective. You can put it on the ears, rub it on the paws, and remember this particular blend contains valerian, but Dr. Kim Bloomer was not too concerned about that. So, you know, just use your own discretion on that one. Now, the same way that I was using BLM, you can use Essential Zyme. If, like Terry was saying about her horse with Jai-Jais, eliminating all of that bloating and discomfort. Well, Essential Zyme, if they're having bloating and discomfort maybe from the food that they're eating, or they're just going through some traumatic times and they're not digesting, Essential Zyme will aid in that digestion, helping to eliminate toxic waste and gas. It helps to break down protein. It establishes proper enzyme balance, and it improves intestinal flora. Just one capsule, you can sprinkle it over their food, would help to digest. And if it's just a small cat, just half a cap would be fine, I'm sure. Now, we didn't have HRT in this presentation when we first put it together, but Dr. Kim said this is something you must tell people about. There are a lot of animals out there that maybe have heart murmurs or cardiovascular issues, and just as HRT is tremendously supportive for healthy heart function in the human, it is as well for the animals in our life. It strengthens and nourishes the heart. It protects and stimulates the heart muscle. It increases lymphatic drainage, and it strengthens the entire vascular system. You know, wouldn't it be phenomenal if we could incorporate this into all veterinarian medicine so that when their first thought would be, you know, if we could just increase the lymphatic drainage or strengthen the vascular system, if we just had a drug for that, or that they would turn to something like HRT. And it also stimulates circulation. This is a great tincture. That's what it is. And you would just drop it in their water. You can put a few drops with tuna juice or in their favorite treat, just, you know, getting it into their system like that. This isn't something you would put on the bottom of their paws or tipping their ears. You would make sure that they were ingesting this. So I would put it on their food. KND is another one that she said is very, very important. And I would have thought, you know, I guess, yeah. It supports kidney and bladder function. And pets have kidney and bladder issues. It increases kidney filtration. It's great for kidney and urinary tract infections, and they get them as well as we do. It purifies the urinary tract, and it's also a mild diuretic. So there you go. You know, something for our pets that we've been using for a very long time. And again, you can mix this in their drinking water or diluted Ningxia Red. And I was so surprised when, quite a few years ago, is when I stumbled on Dr. Kim Bloomer's website. And she talks about bringing a huge mastiff back to life by using oils and Ningxia Red and some of the supplements that Young Living had back then. So Ningxia Red, too. Rehemagen. Rehemagen is a powerful blood purifier. Now, this is one of the tinctures that Dr. Kim recommends for those dogs who have had high toxicity levels, maybe from over-inoculation, maybe one of the reasons that they're suffering from these thunderphobias. So you can put this in their water, or you can put it diluted with Ningxia Red It's a powerful liver and gallbladder protectant. If they've been into something that's highly toxic, this is one of the ways that you can clean the blood. It supports the pancreas and the stomach. It stimulates the adrenal glands. It increases energy. It's highly antifungal. It prevents cellular mutation, which can be caused by toxicity. And it combats circulatory dysfunction. So this is really, really a great tincture as well. Those three, just if your pet has been diagnosed with something, think about, using these for healing those ailments. Terry, I know you can talk about sulfurzyme because I've heard you talking about it for the last 4 days.
Oh, I know.
Can you see the slide?
Well, this is really an amazing product. And what's funny about this, Young Living has never, to my knowledge, ever had a brochure on sulfurzyme. And yet I think it's one of the most important nutritional products in our line for both humans and pets. So what happens with sulfurzyme, it has many purposes. First and foremost, it supports a healthy immune system. It promotes healthy liver function. It helps with our pets to help them have a shiny coat. It reduces inflammation in the body. It helps to relieve arthritic discomfort. It enhances our skin health, and it is suggested for pre-diabetics along with coriander and or ocotillia. So if I were just to, just to describe sulfurzyme in a few areas of our health, I would say that it is the #1 product for our joint health, for humans and pets, for skin, for hair, and for nails. Absolutely. And also, in both humans and pets, when you take sulfurzyme internally, it helps the peristalsis action in the colon and in the intestines, which is very, very important for good digestion. Natural organic sulfur is the 8th largest ingredient in the human body. And the reason that we are deficient in natural organic sulfur is because it's only found in raw foods. The minute that we cook a food, the natural organic sulfur dies. So I would consider, I look at this as being more of a food than I do a supplement. So the way that we take it in our family for humans is that we put it in a juice or water, 2 to 3 teaspoons a day. And for pets, of course, we can just sprinkle it on their food. We can put it in their water, however you want to get it in. I prefer the powder for the fact that the powder gets into our bloodstream very, very quickly. And then you don't have to digest another capsule. So it's a great product, and there's just very little, advertisement on this product. But to me, it's an absolute must-have. Now, for your pet and for humans, Christina, I just have to share with you that it will really help them to have a great coat. And for women, this is my secret of why I'm 57 years old and have never had to color my hair, is sulfurzyme. I think we may have lost Christina. Can anybody hear me? Christina?
I'm here, Terry.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
So this is our Life 5 probiotic. And just like human beings, when our animals, excuse me just a minute.
Oh, Christina, I'll take this because I know that you've had no sleep. Do you want me to take this slide?
Well, I've had sleep, but we talked for 4 days straight, Terry.
I know. Let me take this slide, honey.
Please,
this is wonderful because this promotes immunity. This product aids in resisting infections. It improves our digestion, and it colonizes the gut with friendly bacteria. Now, those of you that have ever had to put your pet on an antibiotic, what is really, really amazing is that pets and humans, when we go on an antibiotic, It kills the friendly flora that lives in our intestine. And the friendly flora actually is a little, it just visualize this, it's like a little Pac-Man that goes around killing fungus, mold, and yeast in the body. So if we don't have the friendly flora, then we're going to get things like earaches, yeast problems, stomach problems, digestive problems. So the Life 5 is an absolutely wonderful product, and I'll tell you why it's so economical. Because you do not take this every day. You're only going to take this for about 3 days, and then you're going to put it in your refrigerator, and maybe next month you'll take it for another 3 days. So it's very economical, but it is going to restore the friendly flora that we need in ourselves and in our pets' digestive system.
We have a question by Heather Hurt, who asks, would you use this for chronic yeast on the feet between the pads of her Labrador? And I don't know if she was talking specifically about Life 5, but if your Labrador has a yeast problem, it's because he doesn't have good, healthy intestinal flora. And so I would highly recommend you start giving your Labrador one Life 5 every night before you go to bed. And I would recommend, because he's got yeast on his feet, probably do it for 30 days. And, keep it in the fridge, like Terry said. It needs to be in the fridge. But,
and then also what you're going to do is your Life 5 is a product that you take internally. It's
right.
not an oil that you rub on your feet. So it's a capsule. It's a very small capsule. So you're going to put it in your animal's food.
Right, right. Thank you, Terry. And then Mary Schmaltz asks, how often do you take sulfurzyme a day? We just take it once a day.
Yes, I mean, I have
a day.
Right, right.
Can you see the Omega Blue, Terry?
Yes, next is Omega Blue, and this is just a fabulous product. For those of you that are taking a fish oil, please be aware that fish oil in the world today it's very, very important that you're aware of the source, because the fish around the world have become polluted. This is a product that contains fish oil and a number of essential oils, and it is enteric coated, which allows the capsule to release in the small intestine as opposed to the stomach for greater absorption. So this is a combination of fish oil and essential oils that is so good for our pets and for ourselves, for the heart function, the cardiovascular, and for the brain function. It's such a beautiful product. Okay, moving on to multigreens. This product helps to maintain a very high energy level. What I love about this product, it is alkaline. It will bring the blood to an alkaline state in the body, and most humans and animals tend to be more acid in their blood, in the pH in the blood. Now this product is for animals and human that really don't have the best diet. And so if you don't have time to cook those 3 healthy meals a day, or maybe your pet doesn't have the best diet, this is what you want to do. It's really fantastic. And it contains the most expensive essential oil in the world today, which is Melissa oil, and 3 other different essential oils that your pet will be getting internally. So it's an awesome product. Okay, next. Animal Sense ointment is amazing for pets, and I'm going to tell you very honestly, as a human being, I use this on the bottoms of my feet because it is really on the bottoms of your feet. It's amazing. So what this does is it will seal and disinfect an open wound. It's very soothing. It will help with post-surgery healing. It's very good for nursing mothers with sore and inflamed. So this product has wonderful oils: palmarosa, geranium, patchouli, Idaho balsam fir, tea tree, myrrh, and rosewood. So don't underestimate this product, and it's very inexpensive. Go ahead, Christina.
All right, I have to tell this story because this particular dog was my dog Theo. Theo was the best dog ever, and he got bit, you think, at the root of his tail and on his back. And by the time that we realized he had been bitten, the wound needed to be cleaned by a vet. The size of the wound on his back, I want you to kind of visualize this, was about the size of a dinner plate. It was raw. There was no skin there. So I had asked my vet about skin grafting, as he couldn't stitch it up because the weight of Theo's belly would have pulled out the stitches. We tried. We actually had the skin graft flown in on dry ice, and it didn't take, so they wanted to put him down. I told the vet that I wanted to treat him at home with my own essential oils, and so this is what we did. I started to clean the wound 3 times a day with a saline mixture of helichrysum, lemongrass, Melrose, and I kind of just, traded them out and maybe would intuitively grab a bottle of frankincense and put that in the saline every once in a while, but I just kind of mixed up the oils. But basically, helichrysum, because of the nerve damage and the tissue repair that we needed, the lemongrass because of the connective tissue, and the Melrose because it was very antiseptic. And then I would smear animal scents on a baby diaper, and I would place the baby diaper over this huge wound. Now Theo ended up wearing a girl's size 10 bathing suit. With his front legs in the armholes to hold the baby diaper in place, I would pin it to the swimming suit. We made sure that the swimming suit was blue and that it had silver stars in it so that he looked like General Theo instead of a girl. And we changed that dressing 3 times a day. I'd have to come home from work, change the dressing, clean it, and he wore a cone to keep him from bothering the healing. And we continued to do this consistently for 3 months. After the healing was completely finished, the scar where there was no hair was about the size of a quarter. It was miraculous. He completely healed. I took him back to the vet, and the vet was amazed. But do you think the vet would incorporate oils? Absolutely not. But I'm just here to say that I was so grateful for Theo's healing because he was just the best dog ever. And I used these healing oils for him, and I use them on my dogs today. So this is my testimonial. I'm Christina Campbell, and I'm from O'Fallon, Illinois. Let's talk briefly about fleas, ticks, and parasites. Flea, tick, and mosquito products contain horrible neurotoxins and cancer-causing ingredients, which can cause damage to the kidneys, the thyroid, and it can affect behavior. Natural prevention comes in the form of good health, diet, and removing environmental and internal toxins. Please think about not using chemicals on your pets. A healthy pet is not an attractive host to any parasite, and it's the first step in controlling parasites. If you do have parasites and fleas and ticks, essential oils can help your pet repel these things. Michael Lemon, doctor of veterinary medicine, said popular flea collars often contain powerful nerve gases. They can kill some fleas, but they can also kill some pets, and they can do damage to children and adults that handle the pets wearing the poisonous flea collar. So please just be aware. We have a beautiful animal scent shampoo. It cleans all types of animal fur and hair. It conditions, it repels insects, it protects the skin and coat, it rids the hair of lice, ticks, and other insects. It's safe, all natural, and effective. There are no chemicals in any of Young Living's products, as many of you well know. It leaves the coat shiny, and it has a beautiful, pleasant smell. Now, Pam and I have used Parafree for dispelling worms and parasites on our animals ever since we were introduced to Young Living. It maintains healthy internal environments. It supports a natural defense system, and it's great for internal cleansing. But I will recommend that you still go get your animal tested for worms and parasites, and then you can go home and you can treat the animal with Parafree instead of some chemical. And here's the Ningxia Red that we were talking about earlier. You know that it's the highest antioxidant liquid dietary supplement from whole food sources. It has blueberry juice, which can reverse the signs of aging in animals. It has raspberry juice, which provides protection against cell mutation. It has pomegranate juice, which prevents heart disease because it strengthens the cardiovascular system. It has apricot juice, which strengthens the blood vessels It has orange oil, which prevents cellular mutation. And, oh, by the way, it has lemon oil, which promotes the white blood cell formation and increases the immune function. So if your pet has a low immune function, this would be a great adjunct to their food. Just put an ounce in their food or a half an ounce in their food and be amazed as you watch them come to greater health. We'd like to just briefly talk about your Healthy Pet Plan. Step 1, we'd like you to enroll to receive any of the Young Living products at wholesale with a wholesale membership, and we're going to explain how that works. This is how you receive wholesale pricing. You can purchase a Start Living with Everyday Oils collection, and you can receive 1 milliliter bottle of each of the following oils. Peace and Calming, and you'll remember from the presentation that Peace and Calming is very good for pets that are anxious. Purification. Terry talked about what a purifying oil this is and what an antiseptic oil it is. Lavender, calming to wounds and soothing to anxious pets as well. Panaway, great for bones and tissue repair. Lemon increases the white blood cell count. Valor, very good for dogs who are very, very shy, and you want to give them courage. Frankincense, Dr. Kim Bloomer said this is the #1 staple should be in every veterinarian clinic because it's good from the tip of the tail to the top of the head. Thieves, we know, is great for kennel cough and for viruses and canine flu and all those other things that we mentioned. And peppermint. Peppermint is good for digestion. It's good for nausea while traveling. Plus, you get a bonus bottle of lavender and a bonus bottle of peppermint. You get a $40 off coupon on any Young Living diffuser, and diffusing around your pets in the home is not only good for them, but you get the added benefit as well. And you get 24% discount on all future Young Living products. You get a lifetime wholesale membership with no annual fees. This particular collection is valued at $225, and it's yours for only $150. Step 2 is to enroll in your Healthy Pet Plan with the Essential Rewards program. The benefits of the Essential Rewards is every time you purchase products on a monthly shipment basis, you will earn 10% rebate on everything you order in the first 6 months. In the second 6 months of you being part of that program, that rebate will jump up to 15%. And after you've been a faithful Essential Rewards participant, after 1 year, that pops up to 20% in rebate on everything you buy. It's really a win-win. You also get reduced shipping. You get discounted prices on exclusive product packages, and you never run out of products to ensure that your Healthy Pet Plan is a success. So maybe you're wondering, well, what would I order on a monthly basis for my pet? Well, we're going to give you a couple of suggestions for healthy pets. Here's your first order, maybe, with your Start Living with Everyday Oils kit. This particular order includes the sulfurzyme that we talked about, which is good for supporting a healthy immune system. It aids in carbohydrate metabolism. It promotes proper liver function, and it's great for arthritis and any type of joint and muscular pain. We'd also recommend Trauma Life, just in case you have that unfortunate accident and you need to have something to calm them and to help them get through that trauma. And also Digest, have that on hand in case they have a tummy upset or any problems. And of course, if you have horses, you heard Terry's story about how it was great for colic. And I do have a protocol for horses for founder. I have a local horse ranch up here in our area, and she's been using essential oils for about 15 years. And one of her little Shetland ponies had founders, and the oils that she used. If you're interested in getting that particular protocol, please email me. And the wholesale price here for this is $116.50, and that gives you a really great start. Other suggestions for your Healthy Pet Essential Rewards? Ningxia Red. Here's your V6 mixing oil for diluting any oils. Terry talked about those multigreens and how it can bring vitality to your pet, how that it alkalizes the body, the system. And then we have the Animal Sense shampoo. And this total is $110.25. That would be for your second month. And, of course, when you get your 10% rebate, that's $11.22 in your piggy bank to spend on free products. One more healthy suggestion before we close for this evening, and that would include Parafree, using it for warming your pets and making sure that they're free of parasites. The Animal Sense ointment that you would use to seal in other oils. And like Terry said, if you've got a pet like a dog with very sensitive skin and they get raw spots or they lick themselves raw, Animal Sense would be fabulous for the dry skin and the sores. So, use Animal Sense. And lemongrass, great for connective tissue, great for wounds and sores, that type of thing. And it will lower blood cholesterol. Here's some educational tools and resources. The Oils and Pets brochure by Dr. Mary Hess was the impetus for this particular PowerPoint presentation that we're giving to you this evening. It can be purchased from crowndiamondtools.com. It's great. A pack of 25, $8.75. Of course, the Essential Oils desk reference and the new one's coming out. If you want to get this new reference, go to www.ylwisdom.com. Right now, there's a pre-publishing price of $59.95, and it will go up $10 more after the 28th of February. Another good guide would be the Reference Guide for Essential Oils by Connie and Alan Higley, The Whole Health for Happy Dogs, and Holistic Aromatherapy for Animals. All three of those can be purchased on AbundanceHealthForYou.com. And Terry, I would love to have you close this evening.
Christina, we just lost if anyone can hear Terry. Okay. So we welcome everyone to the Young Living family, including all of our pets and all of our loved ones. And so this is, wow, what a beautiful picture. Amazing. We lost your voice there for a couple of minutes, Christina, so I'm going to just close this out, and then if people want to